Hillary survive this, the FBI investigation, as well as the Bernie Sanders challenge? Let's put that question to an expert, knows the party. He is well-known Democrat political consultant and Fox News contributor Joe Trippi, who joins us now. Joe, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you, Dan.
So, what about that? What Hillary's protestations that she never did anything that the intelligence community, through their inspector general, is saying she did?
Well, I mean, look, we don't know what any of the reviews are when they're finally determined what they're going to say. So I think you when you introduced this, you were talking about them saying that the Chinese and Russians were likely. There's no evidence of that. The word likely, and it might, and it could, and it should, and all that good stuff doesn't really matter right now. And in fact, frankly, right now at least, the more these leaks come out, and the more Trey Gowdy and others, like the Republican hearing, it just helps her in terms of Democrats discounting any of this. And look, the Republicans, rank and file voters who never liked her weren't going to vote for her. A lot of them weren't going to. Most of them weren't going to vote for her anyway. So at this point, unless there is some, some kind of official FBI or Justice Department thing, it's not really going to impact anything.
Joe, it sounds like you're denying that she sent top secret emails on her private server.
I'm not denying anything. I don't have any clue what the facts are, and neither does anybody who's talking on this show right now.
Well, I mean, you have reports that suggest, and there's specific emails that have been mentioned, the contents of those emails, special access programs most recently that were found on her server. I mean, everybody's lying? I don't understand. Those classified emails were not there.
No, I'm saying that there has not been any, as far as I know, Justice Department or FBI or anybody else has said that anything illegal or wrong has occurred. Until that happens, it's all speculation.
Well, I mean, if classified emails were handled the way that's being speculated, wouldn't that rise to the level of criminal conduct, on the order of what General Petraeus had to face?
I absolutely, as Hillary Clinton has said, believe in the professionals at the Justice Department if they believe that, at the right time. When they're done with their review and investigation, we'll learn the reality of it.
Well, it's not the Justice Department, unfortunately. It's just the FBI right now. There is no grand jury. There are no subpoenas yet. But Clarence Page, not a member of the vast right-wing conspiracy, said on the McLaughlin Group over this weekend that he expects the FBI will refer criminal charges to the Justice Department, but that she will not be indicted. Let me play out that hypothetical as a campaign expert, campaign consultant. If criminal charges are referred by the FBI, regardless of what the Justice Department does, is her campaign over?
No. Like I said, there's a process. We'll deal with that. I mean, if that happens, Clarence Page speculates that he thinks this and that. Joe Trippi speculates that she won't.
Okay.
There won't be any referrals, and that the Justice Department therefore won't do anything. Which you going to quote me next week's show?
Yeah, I'm happy to quote you. I'm just saying, the whole Clarence Page likes Hillary Clinton, and he thinks.
Yeah, so do I.
Well, I understand, but I'm just saying his reading of the tea leaves. He has a different prediction than you do. That's fine, but you can't just relegate Clarence Page. Oh, he's in the tank for the Republicans.
We're talking about predictions. We're not talking about reality.
I understand.
Let's wait for reality to happen.
Well, what we do in politics is speculate about things that may happen and the impact they will have. You have to do that as a campaign consultant. So if Hillary Clinton had criminal charges referred by the FBI to the Justice Department, how would that impact her campaign? I can't imagine that will be a positive.
Well, it certainly won't be a positive. Look, all of this is of her own making. She did had the server, had the one device. That is definitely the case. And so whether these charges end up along the lines of what Clarence Page believes or not, she's going to pay for this the entire campaign. The Republican, if there aren't charges, it doesn't matter. We're going to see all this stuff repeatedly in ads and things as we, and in fact, probably with the worst interpretation possible, the Russians and the Chinese did get it, even though there were no reports and there is no FBI or Justice Department finding of that. But they'll do it anyway. So, and by the way, she pays that price because she made the mistake that she takes responsibility for. So the reality is, this is going to be something that goes on from now till November. It's been hammered on. It will be continued to be hammered on. And right now she's slightly behind or slightly ahead of every Republican running against her. So, that's what elections are about. It's about the people will have heard all this. They'll continue to hear about it. There may or may not be some official review that adds to the burden or lessens it if they find that she didn't do anything wrong or illegal. So that's how that is how politics plays out.
But Joe, she's got to win the nomination first, and Bernie Sanders is nipping at her heels. And
no, he's not.
He's not. Well, he's going to clearly. I think. Don't you agree? He's going to win New Hampshire because it's the backyard to Vermont. But what about Iowa?
Doesn't matter. Iowa and New Hampshire are two places where we find out how the two of them do with white Democrats. Vermont's 95% white, the whitest state in the country. New Hampshire's 94% white. Iowa's 92% white. The parts of the Clinton runs well with progressives, but not as well as him. She doesn't run as well with him with millennials, as obviously as he does, but she runs stronger with women, blacks, Hispanics, blue-collar Democrats. Her part of the Democratic coalition is not as strong, anywhere near as strong in Iowa and New Hampshire as the parts of the coalition that are with Bernie. Now, you got to put both those parts together in the end to win in November, but it shouldn't surprise anybody. In fact, if she runs a dead heat with him or close to it in those two states, he's got big problems because she's running 69% to his 23% with non-whites in the other 48 states as we break out into that. So, I mean, at that point, what you know is in Iowa, if he beats her 52-48 or she beats him 52-48, what you know is they're going to split white Democratic voters the rest of the way, and she is going to clobber him the rest of the way with the rest of the coalition that elected Obama president in 2008 and 2016.
You don't see the possibility that if Sanders were to win Iowa and New Hampshire, it becomes at least a little bit of a snowball rolling downhill. I mean, there's been seismic changes in where Hillary Clinton is in terms of the polls versus Sanders over just the last 30 days. It couldn't happen in South Carolina in subsequent primaries?
Look, things can happen. I don't see that happening. I don't believe that for a couple of reasons. He's not Barack Obama, who came out of Iowa winning the state and had the same problem, but now he's the first African American in history to be on his way to a nomination. To really have a shot at the nomination of the presidency. So a lot of that vote flipped radically, I mean, like overnight with him, and that's how he went on to win the nomination, despite the fact that Hillary Clinton beat him in the popular vote, 17.8 million votes to 17.4 million votes. So unless you believe that Bernie Sanders, all those folks out there are going to be as excited about him after he wins Iowa and that he's going to defeat her 80-20 among non-whites instead of her beating him 69-23. Could he beat her 60-40? I guess all that's possible, but it's not. 60-40 doesn't do it. She still beats him. She beat Obama when he was doing 80-20. So people don't remember any of this because, it was 2008.
Well, I remember.
Caught up in it.
And Bernie Sanders is no Barack Obama. I got it. Quickly, Joe, before we let you go, who is the Republican that Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders would most like to run against?
My guess is Cruz or Trump. I think it's easier to I think they'd rather run against Cruz than Trump because I think Cruz, it's a known quantity on the conservative side. You don't get a lot of surprises from him. Trump, there's something, even though I think a lot of Democrats think they'd, win 40 states if he were the nominee, I think there's something, unpredictable about him that it just, I wouldn't want to go that route. But, Rubio, Christie, Kasich, Bush even would be more problematic for Democrats than either of those two.
He is Joe Trippi, Democrat political consultant and Fox News contributor. Joe, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Great to be with you guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.